In this video series, we've gone over many different aspects of the college admission process. What I'd like to talk about next are financial aid and scholarships. There's information on our website as well as on Naviance, and we're going to go over some of the basics for applying for financial aid and finding scholarships. On our handout that we have been using as a reference, we're going to go all the way to the bottom on the back and take a look at the financial aid and scholarships section. Now, for many students, the first stop in applying for any type of financial aid or scholarships would be to complete something called the FAFSA. FAFSA stands for Free Application for Federal Student Aid. And it's often considered the first stop because lots of colleges and universities require students to complete the FAFSA. This is the type of thing that may be tough for a student to do on their own. They will most likely need their parents' help because it does require some tax and IRS data information that has to be input. The purpose of the FAFSA is to determine your eligibility for different types of aid. So they're going to ask residency questions, they will ask legal questions, and then they will ask information about your financial status. From there, you will receive a student aid report, and that's going to determine what you're eligible for. Depending on your family's income, you may be eligible for grants. And grants are money that you do not have to pay back. It's almost always income dependent. You may be eligible for loans. Loans are money that you do have to pay back, and that is often not income dependent. You may be eligible for work study. Now, some universities, many actually, will ask students to complete the FAFSA just to consider them for scholarships also. They want to see if you meet certain legal requirements for being eligible for financial aid. So even if you're thinking, I may not be eligible for some of those income-based grants and I don't have any desire to take out a student loan, it's still in your benefit to complete the FAFSA because your college or university may require you to have one on file in order to consider you for scholarships. Beyond completing the FAFSA, there is another type of application that you may find. It's called the CSS Profile. It's similar to the FAFSA, but it is not as widely used as the FAFSA. So you will want to check with your institution to see if they require the CSS Profile. Unlike the FAFSA, which is free, there is often a fee in order to complete the CSS Profile, but it could also determine your availability for additional financial aid and other scholarships. So for some students, depending on the school you're applying to, it may be in your best interest to also complete the CSS Profile in addition to the FAFSA. Now, if you are interested in scholarships, scholarships can be merit-based, which means it's based on something that you have done, either academic or athletic, or based on an activity. Or the scholarships can be need-based if you meet certain income requirements, which can vary from one school to another. You may be eligible for scholarships. There's a few different places you can look to find information for scholarships. On Naviance, if you click on the Colleges tab and go to Scholarships and Money, we have some resources to help you find scholarships. One of them is the scholarship list. Now, this is a list of local, so most often here in Texas or Collin County or even Plano specific scholarships that have come to us and would like to advertise with our students. This list gets updated throughout the school year. Right now, it's the end of August, so there are only 2 scholarships on this list. The list tends to be the longest in the February or March area of the school year, so keep checking back. We also post these scholarships on our website. If you go to the counseling section, click on scholarships, and then click here to see the current scholarship list, you'll see those local scholarships posted there as well. And then we have a bulletin board outside of the counseling office where we post our local scholarships. The applications for those scholarships are often found in the counseling office, so if you have any questions about the local scholarships, you can come there. Beyond the local scholarships, we have access to a national scholarship search. Now, this is a huge database that is going to search lots of different scholarships using a variety of criteria. So as a student, you'll have to spend some time sitting down, putting in information, and going through the huge database. As you can see here, it's currently sitting at about 3.5 million scholarships. Finding the one that's a fit for you and then applying to those takes a bit of work, but it can be worth it if you're willing to go through all of that. The best place to find financial aid and scholarship information is often the website of the school that you're applying to. So I'd like to take a look at what that might look like by going to the website of one of our schools that a lot of our students apply to, and that's Texas State University. And I'm just using this one as an example. You can do these same searches on the website of any school you're interested in. Almost all colleges and universities' websites are set up very similarly, so I'm looking for some section that has information about financial aid and scholarships. So I'm going to click on Future Students, and then as I can see right here, they have a section specifically for financial aid and scholarships. When I get there, it gives me an overview. Now we are interested in, let's start with scholarship opportunities. So I'm going to go there. You would be applying as a freshman if you're looking to go to this school directly after you leave high school. So I'm going to click freshman. And then here on the Texas State website, they get even more specific, and they give you information about national scholarships that are available to anyone. Assured scholarships, these mean scholarships that you are certain to get as long as you meet certain criteria. And then competitive scholarships. These are scholarships that you would have to compete against other students in order to win. Let's take a look at their assured scholarships. So here they get even more specific, and they show you things like exactly what award amount you would get if you meet certain SAT or ACT criteria. Now, not every school's website gets this specific with their scholarship information. Some schools give you a lot of information, some schools don't give you much. It really is up to you as a student to spend some time on the website of the school you're interested in to see what type of scholarships and financial aid that school offers. So to summarize, the main types of financial aid would be grants, money that you would receive based on income that does not have to be paid back. The most common grant is the federal Pell Grant. Scholarships, which is money that's often given based on merit, something the student has done that does not have to be paid back, although scholarships can also be income dependent. Loans, that is often not dependent on income, especially if you're looking at federal subsidized loans or unsubsidized loans, but that does have to be paid back. And then work study. Those are the most common types of financial aid, and the first step in determining what you are eligible for is completing that FAFSA. The FAFSA becomes available for seniors October 1st of their senior year. Beginning at that point, you can start to complete the financial aid information. And as always, make sure you're checking your school's websites for their specific deadlines and information about what they have available.